And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's satellite imagery showing a lot of clouds here, band associated with a front pushing into the southeast coast, slowly moving eastward and starting to thin out a little here in the last few frames. Main low center back just south of the North Gulf Coast here. A lot of clouds in the Kenai Peninsula back up to the northeast interior there with some clouds, mid and high level clouds in the Fairbanks area, but the rain farther to the south around Denali Park there. So although some showers getting north of the eastern Alaska range to a certain extent there. And clouds here over the North Slope and Arctic coast with gusty west winds up in that area. Otherwise, it doesn't really show here, but a fair amount of clearing over the western and north central interior back out to the west and also to the east. And this area of cloudiness brought some light rain to the Pribilof Islands, about a tenth of an inch there at St. Paul late last night, actually early this morning, that dropping down into the Alaska Peninsula area in eastern Aleutians. That brought about 2/10 of an inch to Cold Bay. Otherwise, nothing but high pressure out here to the west over the Bering Sea. On the chart, here's a low pressure area south of the Kenai Peninsula there, east of Kodiak Island. Rain ended Kodiak Island, starting to see a little bit of clearing showing up there, but much drier conditions with less wind than what you had yesterday. Some good solid rain into the Panhandle today. Wrangell picking up about 1 1/3 inches during the day today. And Juneau had around 3/4 of an inch of precipitation. Lighter amounts back to the west here with Kenai having about 1/4 of an inch of precipitation today with showers up into the Copper River Basin there, and some of those showers again getting north of the eastern Alaska range as far west as around Denali Park there. But pretty nice day in Fairbanks with temperatures in the mid-60s and some sunshine today. More sunshine back to the west and to the south there. And then winds out of the west gusting 25 to 35 miles an hour, strongest on the eastern Arctic coast there, with that trough associated with a low center up over the Arctic Ocean. And for tonight, colder air will drop southeastward there, so a chance of some light snow for the eastern Arctic coast into the Brooks Range area. And continued windy conditions, but winds diminishing back toward the central coast and becoming light on the west side under high pressure there. Dry, light winds, western central interior areas. Low pressure continues in the Gulf of Alaska here. And that's going to keep clouds and light rain along the North Gulf Coast, showers in the Copper River Basin, showers diminishing over Cook Inlet and the Kenai Peninsula area, and rain changing to showers over the Panhandle here, but not ending completely. Nothing but high pressure out to the west. Next system way out there pushes eastward and brings some 30-knot winds into the western Aleutians from Kisk Island to Shemya tomorrow afternoon. Otherwise, light winds and dry from the Bering Sea and the Aleutians right up into the Chukchi Sea and into the western half of the state. High pressure winds will be much lighter tomorrow along the Arctic coast. And still look for numerous afternoon showers over the mountainous terrain, at least here over south central Alaska, up into the Copper River Basin areas. This is a very weak front right through here, and that's going to keep it on the wet side over the Panhandle, but not as wet as what you saw today. And Kodiak Island, risk of an afternoon shower, otherwise not too bad there. Showers of this trough over the Alaska Peninsula. And then Monday, low pressure continues. Very weak though, just south of the Kenai Peninsula. And that'll circulate some showers up to the eastern North Gulf Coast. Scattered showers again developing over the mountains in the afternoon here of the Copper River Basin, along and south of the Alaska Range, and to a lesser extent over Kodiak Island. Otherwise, fair amount of sunshine, central interior, dry all the way up to the Arctic coast. Got a trough sliding eastward here over the top of this ridge farther to the south, bringing a chance of showers into Norton Sound, better chance of the Seward Peninsula, and a chance of rain for the northwest coast, Kivalina up to Point Lay. And dry now for the southern Panhandle. Central area is not too bad. Chance of showers up toward the north there. Juneau over toward Yakutat. And a weak front, this front weakening here as it drags eastward toward Adak and Atka. Strong enough to bring some small craft advisory level winds into the area there, but stronger winds will be up to the north here. And from there, looking at lows for tonight in the 30s here over the central interior up to the Arctic coast, out to the northern Bering Sea, 40s to the south, 40s southern Alaska, upper 30s Copper River Basin, 40s to lower 50s for the Panhandle. Highs tomorrow Upper 50s to lower 60s for the southeast coast. Upper 50s to near 60 for south central Alaska, Copper River Basin, Tanana Valley, Kuskokwim Valley, down into Bristol Bay, as well as Kodiak Island. Lower to mid 50s over the Aleutians, and highs in the 30s and 40s from the Brooks Range to the Arctic coast. And in lows, 25 to 30 here for the Brooks Range on Monday morning, otherwise in the 30s elsewhere up there north of the Alaska Range. And down into the 30s here, lower to mid 30s for Kobuk over toward Bettles, and Yukon Flats area in the mid 30s, 35 to 40 in the Tanana Valley, upper 40s to near 50, or 45 to 50 for south central Alaska, and in the 50s for the southeast coast. And then the highs on Monday afternoon, 60 to 65, Bristol Bay, Kuskokwim Valley, upper 50s, lower 60s, south central Alaska, about the same in the central interior. Warmer though for the north slope and the Arctic coast, 45 to 50 up in those areas, and upper 50s to lower 60s again for the panhandle.